In this video, we are going to substitute a number for a variable and find a value for the expression that we have. Now, in this example, we're going to find the value for m equals 5, which means we're going to take 5 and substitute it anywhere that we see m. Now, the very first thing and the most important thing that we need to understand in this example is that when I have something that says 8m, this means the same thing as 8 times m. So when I plug in 5, I'm actually going to multiply 5 and 8. It doesn't mean that I just put the 5 where the m is and then the answer is 85. That is inaccurate. So now I rewrote this as 8 times m. Now instead of m, I'm going to write 5. So I have 8 times 5, and that answer is 40. In our second example, again, we're going to substitute the value for m equals 5. So again, this is 3 times m squared. Okay, so instead of m, I'm going to write 5. So I have 3 times 5 squared. Now we have to keep mindful of our order of operations. We have to do our order of operations again is PEMDAS. And in our order of operations, we definitely have exponents before we have multiplication. So we need to take care of that exponent first. So I just rewrite my 3. And 5 to the second power, or 5 squared, is the same thing as 5 times 5, which is 25. And then you just do 3 times 25, and that final answer is 75. In the next example, we have two different variables. And in the directions it says find the value for x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 3. So I'm going to rewrite it so that you can see that it's 2 times x plus 5 times y. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to substitute. Instead of x, I'm going to write 5, and instead of y, I'm going to write the value of 3. So I have 2 times 5 plus 5 times 3. Again, we need to be mindful of our order of operations. Our order of operations tells us that we have to do multiplication before we do addition. So I'm going to put my plus sign down, and I'm going to do the multiplication on both sides. So first I do 2 times 5, which is 10. Then I do 5 times 3, which is 15. All that is now left is my addition. 10 plus 15 is 25, and that's my final answer. In the next equation, I have the same values, x equals 5 and y equals 3. Now I do have a fraction here, but don't let that make you nervous. We're going to do it in the same way that we've been doing it, but you take care of the numerator first, then the denominator, and then we divide or simplify if necessary. So I'm going to rewrite this as 9 times x minus 8 times y over 2 times x minus y. Next, I'm going to substitute in. Instead of x, I'll write 5, and instead of y, I'll write 3. So I have 9 times 5 minus 8 times 3 over 2 times 5 minus 3. So we'll take care of the numerator first. In the numerator, again, you have to be mindful of the order of operations. So I do the multiplication first, then subtract them. So first, 9 times 5 is 45, minus 8 times 3 is 24. Put my fraction line, and then I'm going to do the order of operations in the denominator. 2 times 5 is 10, minus 3. Now I go back to the numerator. The only thing I have in the numerator is subtraction, so I have 45 minus 24. That's 21. 10 minus 3 is 7. Then 21, don't forget fractions are division, so 21 divided by 7, the answer is 3. And our last example has exponents in it, but again, we're still going to do x is 5 and y is 3. So I'm going to rewrite this as x squared minus 2 times y squared. So x is 5, so I have 5 squared minus 2 times 3 squared. Now don't be fooled. We have to do the order of operations, but be careful. This is not really a parenthesis. It's just a parenthesis showing multiplication. The kind of parentheses that we're talking about that you do first are ones that would say something like x plus 3 inside or 2 plus 5 inside. These are considered parentheses. Okay, this is showing multiplication. So there isn't a parentheses for us to do, but there is an exponent. It's right there, so we do that one first. And here is another exponent. We can do them from left to right in order. So 5 to the second power is the same thing as 5 times 5, that's 25. Write down minus 2 times 3 times 3, because 3 to the second power is 9. Okay, so next I have to do multiplication. So I have 25 minus 2 times 9 is 18. And the only thing left is subtraction. 25 minus 18 is 7.